Hi, it's been a while again since my last video, but there you go. Alright, let's talk about the right hand side trunnion bushes that I was talking about in my last video. Left side, you might remember, is all done, made, finished, and I'm perfectly happy with the angle of the camber being 0. Now the right hand side has might have been in the welding of the big support arch. It's about 1 degree out. Okay, I've got 1.5 degree or 1.2 degrees of positive camber. So I've made these bushes here, these trunnion, out of bronze. Okay, so tapered fit as per the last video, and offset 4 millimeters, which took me pretty close to the edge there by almost not quite a millimeter there on that edge. So my feeling was I could take it over 4 millimeter. Now you're actually going to see me making this thing and how I offset it, so if you can see that, and I'll have some clear pictures a little bit later on in the thing. So the trick now is that we'll go through the making process of these, and then we'll go and fit them. So without needing to talk too much at the moment about, you know, what's what and where's what, as you can see here, I've got the offset, yeah, okay, and I'm hoping that that 4mm shift would give me at least you know, a degree, and I just don't know. I can't quite work out the angles of everything to ascertain as to what 4mm in that shift up there is going to give me down below. So I've set the Healey up 0, 0 in longitudinal, and so we'll fit these and see how we go with the angle. So with regards to fitment and measuring, I'm going to keep that a bit short because you've already seen that. So this one was mostly about the manufacturing of this, and then secondly, if I can keep it the camber close to 0, or as close to 0 as I possibly can. So let's get on into it. Okay, what I've got here is the machining. I've super glued this trunnion bush in. Okay, it matches the size, but because we're going to drill it, and so we've matched the taper, but I've used some bearing Loctite to lock it in. And this groove here I've put in place so that I can you know, easily offset that. And my calculations are that if I move it across 4 millimeters and drill, and for the bolt to go through, then I should have about 1/2 mil left on the minor diameter at the other end of the taper. So the idea is just to loosen off on this clamp, fasten on this clamp, and then just push it straight across. And I've got it set at the moment at okay, it's at, I'll just home that to see. I'll just zero that in a bit better. I need 2 hands to do it because I'm just holding my phone, and see if we can do that a bit better. Come back in a minute. Okay, I put my other dial indicator on because it's far more stable than the block one that I've got there. Although that's a very good dial as well. This is Mitsu Toyo, and so the idea, if you can see that, I've just got to keep the light out of it so you can see that. So I've got to move it across 4 millimeters, as I said, which will bring me to the edge of the minimal size of the trunnion taper by about 1/2 millimeter. Okay, so I've got a square block in, and I did that on purpose so that I could just push it straight across. And to get this out, I've got bearing Loctite in there, and to get that out I just a bit of heat, and hopefully that should just drop out once it's done, and then we put the other one in without changing any of the settings on that. That way they're both the same, and they should locate more easily when I cross the other when I put the bolt through. Okay, so let's make a start on that. Okay, that actually went quite well. So I've got the 4 millimeter offset. Okay, so let's just give that a run and see how it looks. Okay, now we see how this goes. I'm going to put a lock washer in because this soft lock nut has been used a number of times now, so I've got to revert back to putting some strength in the locking. So the next thing is to measure it, and I suspect that I'm still going to be out, you know, if I had to predict 0.6, 0.7 degrees out. So from 1.2 down to about, I don't know, 0.7, 0.6. We'll see. So that's the next step. I'll put a lock washer in the other side as well, just to make sure. That's 0.14 degrees. 0.14. So my first one was can't remember. That's 0.14 degrees negative. Again, close enough to 0 to not be funny. But seems to be my error seems to be the parallax error. In other words, my eye error. So one final check here. This will be the third one. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, all three of them slightly differences. So 46.73 minus 45.49 equals, do that again, 46.73 minus 45.49 equals 1.24. And see how that looks. 1.24 divided by 410. That's 0.17 degrees. Okay. All three readings. So the first one was 0.07, then 0.14, then 0.17. And I attribute that to parallax error, so if I average those three readings as an example, 7 plus 0.14 plus 0.17 equals, divided by 3 equals 0.12 average. Okay, so this is what I've got in here. Well, you probably can't see much there. All done up. Now that, I think, looks fairly level, perpendicular, if you like, to the horizontal. Whereas before you could actually notice that they were actually a little bit off. This one is slightly more accurate. This one's had the, of course, the eccentric holes, and it's made, if I had to say, it's made a difference of about 1 degree, because I had 1.2 before and now I'm down to about 0.2. So if you buy the bushes, you should expect a difference of about 1 degree by my estimations. Okay, I'm going to call that quits and call that a success. And I've put lock washers now in those because those nuts there, right there, being nylock, have been on and off 2 or 3 times, so I put a lock washer behind both of them. This one's on the other side. Okay, so that's it. Finally, I believe I can move on, and then when everything's assembled, when the car is actually running on the road, should that happen one day, when the car is finally on the road and then I find that it's pulling one way or the other, I can always get some experts to take a look at that and tell me what it is with everything installed, the engine and so on. Okay, that's it. Call it quits.